we're still in wintertime. So there's one other food that we do in winter that we consider comfort food. That's red beans and rice. Now, red beans and rice comes from southern Louisiana, specifically New Orleans. The story goes that they always eat red beans and rice on Mondays. And that's because that's the day that they do the household laundry. So they would put all the ingredients in a pot on the stove, let it cook all day, and then whenever everybody gathered for dinner, they would make some rice, some crispy bread, and they would be good to go. Now, in full disclosure, this is the second time I've made this recipe in about 3 days. I had some camera issues, so I'm actually making this pot of red beans for my mom and my sisters who don't really like spicy food. So I'm going to adjust my recipe, which is going to be in the description. So if you want to grab that, you're more than welcome to. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. So let's get started. We'll make this dish real quick, show you what we put in it, and then if you like it, you can make it as well. Okay, we're going to be cooking on this induction burner today. My attempt, and I mentioned that this is the second time that I've filmed this. Somehow I put my camera in slow motion, so I had to redo this one and my chili video, which is coming out before this. So I'm trying to do this over an induction because it's not quite as hot. It's a little bit better reach. So let's see how it works. I'm going to start off with some neutral oil. This is olive oil. Then we're going to go in with our onion. That's 1 onion, 1 bell pepper, 2 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, 1 poblano pepper because I love, that's the jalapeno, de-seeded this time, and 1 bell pepper, or poblano pepper. I love the poblano pepper for the smoky flavor that it gives to the dish. Now, interesting. 3 of these things make up, in French cooking, a classic mirepoix. Those 3 things are onion, celery, and carrots. That's the foundation for soups, stocks, just almost anything in French cooking. In New Orleans, it's called the Holy Trinity. And that is going to be celery, bell pepper, and onion. And that ratio is the same. 2 parts onion to 1 part of the other ingredients. And then in Italian cooking, you have the sofrito, which is onion, garlic, and tomato. But I'm going to do a bolognese video for you guys because I have a recipe that is just incredible, so easy, and man, it tastes so good. You can make a classic lasagna with it. You can do just a real quick, pasta dish. We serve it a bunch of different ways. So if you notice here, we're going to just kind of wilt these down. What we're trying to do is we're trying to release. We don't want to burn them. We want to release. Now we're going in with our garlic. We want to release the sweetness of the vegetables. Okay, I'm going to let this go here. Now we're going to go with 4 cups of chicken stock. And what this is going to do, really it's going to kind of deglaze, for lack of a better term. Anything that is kind of scorched on the bottom is going to release. Now this recipe I'm doing is 1 pound of small red beans. When you go to the grocery store, you're going to notice several different kinds of red beans. You're going to see a canola, and you're going to see a red kidney. I don't know that it really matters. Honestly, I don't know that it really matters, because whenever you're doing this, I can tell you, well, the only difference that I've been able to figure out is that small red small red bean doesn't get quite as soft as like a red kidney bean. And I've used both. So if you like a softer consistency, use the larger red kidney. If you like, the something a little bit firmer, I use the small one. We're using the small ones today. And so what I did, and we're gonna go ahead and we'll talk about the beans when we put them in. Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of chicken base. Now, I get this is kind of like bouillon, but it's much, much better. So it's actually real chicken, concentrated, been cooked down. You can use it to make a soup, a stock, anything like that, or just to reinforce the flavors. And that's what we're doing here. We're gonna stir it in real good. Now, one thing, if you use it, it can tend to be salty, so make sure that you taste before you add salt, or adjust your salt accordingly, because you can over salt a dish if you're not careful. The other thing that you can do is add a little hot water to that before you mix it with your dish and dissolve it. Okay, next we're going to go in with a tablespoon of whatever Cajun seasoning you like. If you like Tony, I mean anything that you have that you think is better, you can use that. We're going to go in with 2 teaspoons of red pepper flakes, and that again is to taste. I'm going to add 1 bay leaf, and I had these small ones here that we're just going to throw in because I don't want to waste them. And now we're going to add our red beans. So if you notice here, these are the small ones. These have been soaked. I put them in water and put them in the fridge last night. It's probably been close to over 24 hours actually. You need to do it for at least 12. The reason you need to soak these is it makes them more digestible, and you'll have a better finished product with it. You can do it in a hurry. You can do it in a hurry if you want to. All you need to do is just kind of parboil them. Make sure you change that water because you want to get rid of that starch, and that's really what you're trying to cook out of this, is the starch that's in the bean. Now the last thing we're going to do is a ham hock. I buy these 3 at a time, freeze them, and so this one I took out this morning. Now before I serve this, I'll take this ham hock out. So this is smoked. And it's also salty, so you're adding salt with that as well. I don't normally eat this like when it's all said and done. I'll just take it out. I need it for flavoring. I need the fat, and I need that pork flavor in my beans. So we're gonna cook these on the stovetop now. I'm gonna bring them to a boil. I want to soften all the vegetables. I want the beans to cook. I want all these flavors to mix up. The last thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my pepper. And again, this is going to be somewhat to taste. I'm going to say probably 2 teaspoons, and I will, once this cooks a bit, I will taste it. I just broke my own rule here, doing pepper first. And I'm not going to put salt in it yet. I'm going to wait until it cooks a bit, and then I'll taste it and see where it ends up. So we're going to bring this to a boil, then turn it down to low, cover it, and just let it cook. So we will come back in a minute, and I'll show you the finished product. This is great with rice. The other thing that I do with this, because if you go to New Orleans, typically what they do, they will serve this with rice, and then they will give you some crusty bread with it, like a French loaf that's typically warm. What I will do is I'll make a real quick 4-ingredient bread, which is just flour, yeast, a little bit of salt, and some water, and that's what we'll eat with this, with some butter on it. I tell you what, on a cold winter's night, this meal is one of the best things you'll ever eat, not to mention the leftovers are really good as well. And when you talk about leftovers, so, I'm sorry, let me finish up one other addition that we're going to do, because obviously they're going to put sausage in this in a traditional recipe. I'm going to use 2 kinds of sausage. I'm going to use a smoked sausage, and I'm going to use an andouille. I won't put that in until about an hour before we serve, and that's because I don't want the sausage to cook down, and because they're pretty much cooked, they're done. All we're doing is heating them up, and I got the ham hock to fortify the flavors, and all I want to do is I want to get those hot so that at the end you're not cooking those down, and they're tough and rubbery because you've cooked all the fat out of them. So we're gonna let these go for a bit, and then we'll be back to show you what they look like when they're done. You cannot go wrong with this recipe. I promise, I promise, I promise. If you just like something that just warms you to your bones, this is the thing for it. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, there you have it. Red beans and rice, crusty homemade bread. Man, that is great, great, great comfort food and great for wintertime. Enjoy.